And here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah, I've seen it. Seen it, yeah. Check threatening lawsuits, yeah. Yesterday he threatened me with a copyright strike. Bring it on. Picking a fight with everyone. To be honest, I don't go over there anymore, guys. Personally, I think I'm done with him. I pity the man. I really do. Leave him alone with his delusions. I had a comment left earlier on from someone I normally respect. Didn't see the hypocrisy of the comment that he left me. Why did I join Advance UK if I'm a British nationalist? Well, I'll tell you why I joined Advance UK. They were the first. I joined Advance UK and Restore Britain the same day they came out. At that time, Advance UK was the only option I saw for putting a stop or slowing down what was happening to our country. Was I happy with Ben Habib being the leader as an ethno-nat? Me? Obviously I wasn't. Obviously I wasn't. But I did see an opportunity, and being pragmatic, I thought, well, I can go along with this for now. I don't really care about whether I'm in a party or not. A nationalist doesn't give a shit if he's in a party. It's the cause that counts. Yeah. So when Ben Habib came along and he was the only one up there, being pragmatic, I thought I'll have to go along with it for now at least. Of course, at that time, Ben was saying that he could never be English. He recognized the fact that he could only ever be a British citizen. I think Rupert knew all along what Advance UK was up to and the people behind it. That's why he didn't join. It's obvious, isn't it? He knew how corrupt and anti-British the much vaunted college was. Yeah. Well, Advance UK paid for their college, didn't they? They paid for it with their destruction and the birth of Restore Britain. No. That's why I reluctantly supported Advance UK. I kept my mouth shut about my real feelings at the time, although I did leave the Advance UK groups because I could see what sort of people they were. They weren't my kind of people. They weren't like the patriots of the British National, the BNP. They weren't nothing like Vindicator's gone live, is he? Oh, well. We're going live as well from 2 till 3. People are free to go where they like. Yeah. Vindicator gives a good show. He gave out a great video this morning. I thought his video was superb. What else happened last night? People left a lot of comments. Some of them may be genuine. Some may be just trying to whip up division, offering to take my place and go visit Simon. Some of them were quite nasty with regards to Simon. I've removed them. Simon didn't help by leaving a lot of comments over on our channel. I don't go over on his channel, leave comments. I don't watch his stuff anymore. I get told about what's put there, but quite frankly, I don't care. I really don't care what he does. I know what he is now. I've seen him for what he is. If he wants to delude himself, if he wants to make money on his channel by attacking nationalists, fine. They'll wake up to him eventually, the same way I did. No, I want to stay away from him. I'm not interested in him. My way of defeating him is to grow this channel and overtake him. We're already overtaking Civnat channels, I'm pleased to say, and will continue to grow. But so there can be no doubt about my personal position in the great scheme of things in this little bubble. We live in a little bubble on YouTube, don't we? In our own little world. There's all different worlds on YouTube. There's a gaming world. There's a bit of drama going over there if you're into it. The Quartering's getting massacred. Yeah. Geeks and gamers are ripping into him. Jeremy Amley, is it? He's got 2.5 million followers. Wow. Channels are dropping like flies in the gaming war. People taking sides. Yeah. It's real drama over there if you want drama. Now, my position is I'm an ethnonat. I'll use the word ethnonat, but to me, that's synonymous with British nationalist. Yeah. I'm an anti-Zionist. You could even say a rabid anti-Zionist. I know how the world works. I know how the wars are started. I don't have time for all this drama with people like Simon. All he does is spend his time attacking real nationalists. None of them are ever good enough for Simon, are they? None of them. We might all have our differences and see different ways of getting there, but most of us are trying to go in the same direction. I'm not trying to stop them going in their direction. I leave that to people like Simon. Everything they suggest isn't good enough, is it? And yet he'll never give an answer. I've offered to go and talk to him. I can't really do any more, guys. I really can't. I literally want nothing to do with him. They talk about punching up and punching down. Yeah, I don't worry about being punched down when people punch down on me, because I'll punch up and I'll punch down. If there's a channel that's an enemy and I can help remove it, stop it spreading lies and propaganda, I'll attack it. I will attack it. However, a weak thing from, and I don't know if you're watching Zionist, I don't know if you're watching, you probably are, to say that I attacked Simon because of his illness, that's a silly argument, isn't it? Think about it. Now, come on, you're an intelligent man. I've read your comments. What did I say? I said, I understand you've got Crohn's disease and that's something to do with the with your back passage, and you're talking out of it. That's what I said. I wasn't. He should eat the right food. He wouldn't have Crohn's disease then, would he, Ribeye? No. Are people supposed to be quiet and not respond when someone with an illness say they've got something wrong with them? Yeah. Does that give them a free pass to say anything they like? Publish any lie they like? Of course it doesn't. Surely, Zionists, you can see that. You must see that. I understand it's one more thing to have a go at me over. I know you wasn't having a go at me personally, Zionist. You were having a go at some of the people who were attacking Simon. But you couldn't really attack me on my nationalism, could you? You couldn't, because my nationalism is the same as yours. We're both anti-Zionists. You couldn't attack me on my track record in British nationalism, because my past is out there. You can go and see it anytime you like. The articles on Searchlight, Hope Not Hate, UAF, ANL, all of them. I was writing about the CST and the Jewish Private Police Force years ago. Could tell you more about Arabs and stuff like that. Most of you haven't heard of them yet. That's because I haven't told you, but I'll teach you one day. Yeah. Is there really any point in carrying on a war with Simon? None at all. Absolutely none at all. There's some great channels out there. The Daily Bollocks, yeah, Simon likes them. They're doing a good job. They're doing a real good job exposing Paul Thorpe, Richard Inman. They're doing a good job. You've got No Chance channel doing a good job. Why should anybody worry about Simon? You shouldn't worry about him. You shouldn't fear him. You shouldn't care what he says. I know I'm old. I know I'm 77. And here I am calling Simon a sad old man. He is a sad old man. He can't leave the past behind him. He just can't leave it behind him. He still thinks it's 2002. No. Come on, guys. Let's leave Simon there on his own, in his own little world. I intend to. Let's have a look at this. Let's go watch some of it. Now where is it? Where is it? Here we go. I don't know where I am. Better not play that one. Let's play this.
This is only Scott Graham British. Here we go. They're gonna put us on the telly, gonna make big stars out of me and you. We'll sing a song about old England, proud and free and red, white and blue, and all we gotta do is keep Britain British. Well, I bet you we're gonna be big stars. Wave the Union Jack, you can never tell. The British folk will stand together. Give the traitors and the woke pure hell. Cause all we gotta do is keep Britain British. Well, we'll rise up singing, hearts full of fire, St. George's Cross flying high. We'll take our streets and take our nation back beneath the British sky. And all we gotta do is keep Britain British. They'll film the marches down in London, from the pubs to the factory gates. We'll show the world what Britain's made of. No more bending to foreign fates. Yes, all we gotta do is keep Britain British. So make that song about our island, fish and chips and a proper brew. We'll guard the realm with grit and glory, for the many, not the few. Cause all we gotta do is keep Britain British. Well, we'll rise up singing, hearts full of fire, Union Jack flying high. We'll stop the boats and stop the madness, Britain's ours till the day we die. And all we gotta do is keep Britain British. Yes, all we gotta do, all we gotta do is keep Britain British. Keep Britain British.
Okay, guys, I see GST is in the room. GST, would you like to come up and tell us about your experiences in Nottingham, my friend? I'll put a link there. Perhaps, there's Lily. Lipstick on your collar, told a tale on you. Lipstick on your collar, said you weren't true. Okay, GST, would you like to come up? I'm having a great day, guys. I haven't done a lot today at all, really. I've just been relaxing. My wife landed in Turkey. She went to Turkey, apparently. I followed the plane over, watched it land. Looks like a nice hotel. She just sent me some photographs. Okay, GST, not a problem, mate. Not at all. Looking forward to your report. Yeah. No. I don't think it was Patsy Cline, Lipstick on Your Collar. Patsy Cline was, what was it? Crazy. Yeah, Crazy was Patsy Cline. Lipstick on Your Collar was it Connie Francis? I don't know. Someone can tell us, I'm sure. Lipstick on, sure it was Connie Francis. I'm probably wrong. But I don't think it was Patsy Cline. She done Crazy. Ah, she done a cover, did she? Oh, well, that's always a good way out, isn't it, Lily? They did a cover. Original artist. Let's go over here. Let's do something different for a change. Let's go here. We haven't had a laugh for a long time, have we?
Boy, well, let me show you something that happened on Sunday.
Jeff Taylor woke up to the sound of his alarm groaning, which seemed fitting. He himself was groaning.
Hello there.
His hair was a chaotic swirl of grey on the sides, leaving the top suspiciously bare, like a tiny, reluctant stage. His moustache, however, stood perfectly in line, sternly disciplined, silently judging the rest of him. He yawned. The first challenge, dressing for his first YouTube video of the day. He shuffled through a wardrobe made for bigger people. Pinstripe suit, check. Oversized paperclip, check. Socks that actually matched, a small miracle. He tugged at his sleeves, straightened his collar, and, in a moment of vanity or despair, examined himself from head to toe. "You're presentable," he said aloud, mostly to himself. Pausing, he added, "ish." His tiny frame in the huge chair looked almost comically heroic, like a man trying to occupy a space far larger than himself. Today was for marches, for crowds, for flags snapping in the wind, and for shouting into the void. The streets were alive. Union Jacks waved, megaphones barked, chants rose and fell like unpredictable waves. Jeff planted himself among them, elbow high to most knees, trying to wedge a voice into the roar. "Excuse me, hello, just a quick word." A boot nearly crushed him. He leapt sideways with surprising agility, adjusted his paperclip, and tried again. "My name is Jeff Taylor," he shouted, reddening as the familiar indignation took hold. "I've got no hair. Well, not on top. Please don't just walk past. Listen, just hear me." The crowd roared on, oblivious. His tiny feet stomped. His fists gestured wildly. He was invisible, a storm in a thimble. He ducked under waving flags, sidestepped trampling boots, flinched around elbows. Every attempt to speak was swallowed by the surrounding chaos. He was a proper fury, confined to a very small body. He muttered to no one in particular. There was another reason he kept at it, a quiet, driving challenge that fueled all his red-faced shouting. Tommy Robinson. Seeing the man, hearing the name, imagining being noticed, even briefly, by him, that was a dream, a goal. The impossible little spark that made all the nearly trampling, the chaos, the shouting worth it.
Hello there.
Hours later, he finally trudged home. No noise, no boots, no near-extinction events every half second. Just a chair, a quiet room, and a cup of cocoa he held like a fragile trophy. The steam curled upward, warm and comforting, carrying with it the faint scent of triumph that nobody else would ever smell. He flicked on a live stream he had bookmarked, the one he watched every night. Familiar voice, familiar cadence. And then, his name, clear, unprompted. He froze, rewound, played it again. There it was, undeniable. A small, slow smile curled his lips. For a brief moment, he wasn't invisible. The world had noticed. His efforts, his chaos, his tiny fury, all validated. And even if Tommy Robinson had no idea, even if the recognition was fleeting, it had felt close enough. He leaned back in his chair, cocoa in hand, and felt something he rarely allowed himself. Chuffed. Properly chuffed. The little man had won today in the only way that mattered.
Hello
He had
there.
been heard. Hello there, he whispered softly to himself,
Hello
not
there.
demanding, not asking, just said.
Well,
He had a
hello
great
there.
night's sleep that night, dreaming of the day he had just lived. Every march, every shout,
Hello
every
there.
near miss, every red-faced indignation replayed like a tiny parade in his dreams.
Hello there. Well, hello
He slept
there.
like someone who had finally been noticed, tiny, triumphant, and utterly satisfied. Good night, children. And remember, if you're not nice to people, and you tell fibs to the world, one day Focus on Britain might just make a video about you. Bye for now.
Woke up, felt surreal. Told me on the telly, making big deal, smiling, saying I would be nice. Then it's back to resume to his same old life. Staring lines, like and subscribe. Gets it right this time under his task. Don't forget, yeah. Got it all planned, but it feels off track. Half the dream that he can't get back. Paper clip getting heavy. Personality, I sure lie. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, cause my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, streets loud. Million people in a waving crowd. Faces change, you don't recognize. Under his eyes, angry, no one cares. Too slow, drowned out by the louder voices. Cars, where I am here, don't land right. Disappears. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, scrolling through his phone. Looking for proof he was not alone. Swear I was there. Smooth like an elf, late screen on bright. Finds a live stream later that night. Saw me saying it with a grin, leans in. Spotting him in, thinks he hears something close to his name. Sounds the same, smiling now. Somehow he's small, but it don't feel that way. For a little moment at the end of the day, watches it once, then once again, like he is proving where he has been. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, cause my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, lays down quiet. Thinking back on it all that way, still not seen, but he don't mind. Small as a mouse. Hello there, I am Jeff Taylor. Advance is finished. Thought is diminished. That is that.
I didn't get my share of the shekels last time, Richard.
No, I know. I must have kept them for myself. Yes.
Yeah.
There you are, GST.
Good afternoon,
There
you
you
all
are.
right?
Wow, you impressed me up there yesterday. I watched most of the day. I recorded
Thank
quite
you.
a bit of it. Yeah, you were vocal, very vocal. You didn't need a megaphone,
Yeah.
and you were
Well,
right in
yeah,
the
I mean,
front line.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I tend to be. You know, that's where all the action is. That's where we're going to start making the difference. You know, and like I say, you got to practice what you preach. It was there was some differences from the first one, and I'm sure the next one in 2 weeks' time is going to be even more different. But yeah, there's a lot to learn, lot to reflect upon. You know, I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning, so all the driving that I've been doing, I've definitely been doing some reflection, 100%.
Oh, go on, tell us your reflections.
I don't know. I mean, one of the things, and I've just made a video about it not so long ago. I was actually quite surprised. One of the most surprising things about the day was just how much the young left hate the Green Party. They
Really?
absolutely, yeah, they absolutely despise the Green Party, just like we do. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. But yeah, like I say, so 2 weeks ago when we had the protest, you had you know, some of the more middle-aged, more adult, and maybe like people above middle-aged. they were all like, you know, with the Unite the Union signs, as you've probably already seen, and you know, like talking about the Green Party and stuff like that, and all the professionally made signs. They weren't there today. Yesterday was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Now, so I lose track of time when I start working again. I had a few days off, and it just threw me all out. But yeah, they didn't have the professionally made signs, and at the end of the last one 2 weeks ago, they started to really distance themselves from that group to say, like, yeah, they're being a bit too radical for us. So it was interesting to see the young ones all out by themselves. Yeah, but it was like, yeah, fuck the Green Party, fuck Labour, fuck everything. It was like, yeah, I like that. I mean, we can get behind that.
Well, yeah. The left and the right are actually closer together than most people realise when it comes to,
I've said
say,
this, yeah. Mm.
Go on,
I've said this.
say it.
100%. No,
You say it.
that's it. I've said absolutely. I think when you look at the radical things, you know, then 100%. Like we both of us, both the right and the left, we want to crash the system. You know, me personally, I'd love to live in a world where people are valued more for just bog standard jobs. Do you understand? And exactly like they are. But
Yes.
unfortunately, and this is where we've got to look at it, there are some things that we just are completely polar opposite against, and it's just going to find out who budges first. And I know we won't budge. Like they're sitting there and quite happily talking about open borders, and that's just like it's like a big no for us. And trans rights and stuff like that. Again, it's just a big no. But
No.
I was speaking to one young lad where he was like, under our vision, if we get into power, we would make it illegal to not have a job, punishable by lengthy prison sentences. And I was like, I quite like that policy.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Do you think they've been influenced by the schools? These young
Absolutely.
people? Yeah.
Absolutely. No. They do. This is the reality of it. Like, you know, they come from middle class backgrounds and they go up to university and stuff like that, and everything just changes. I think what it stems from personally is what everybody's suffering from in today's world. It's that loneliness. You know, you touched on it briefly there about gaming. Gaming's a great tool, but it's just been one of the architects in what is now modern day loneliness. And when you've got somebody that's lonely, no sense of belonging, then they go off to university and they get given this pull where they're given this brotherhood. I've said it many times in some of my videos. There is nothing more powerful to a man than having a brotherhood, being part of a brotherhood, you know, and for the women, even that sisterhood as well. Look at what you're doing right now. You're gathering all these fantastic people together, and you're getting so many people turn up every single live stream that you do, just to add the comments, listen in, and just talk to people. That's the brotherhood as far as I'm concerned, and a sisterhood for the women.
Yes.
And there is nothing more sacred than that. And when you've got these university students that it's a case of, yeah, I'm depressed, I'm lonely, I'm confused about myself. This kind of group here is like a beacon of hope because it's everything that they would want.
Absolutely. But there is a danger to that, isn't there? That some people, I mean, what motivates you, what motivates me, what motivates Ribeye, what motivates all of us, it's different for all of us. But some people who depend, say, on belonging can get radicalized really easy. You see it among the left very much so, don't you, with their chanting and this stuff. Do they really believe it, or do they just want to be a part of something? And we'll have people like that coming into our movement as well. They want to be a part of something. But there is positive hope. I don't know if you saw my granddaughter and a friend from Canada were on the other day, only for a minute, right at the opening of the show. Now, when she left school, she was totally brainwashed. I mean, she'd get upset if she got upset once when I said, well, which of your friends is that? Is that the fat one? She went hysterical. And she was pushing our football teams, why she should support football, I've no idea. are great with all the black people. Now, oof, she's about as right-wing as you can get. I won't tell you what she says about the Pakistani community or non-Brit. Anyone who isn't non-Indigenous, God help them if they fall into her hands in a prison camp, that's for sure, because she's no longer got any time for them.
But I've said this to a few people. Sorry, say, go on.
No, go ahead, please.
I've said it to you. I've said it to a few people, you know, like it's the case of the difference between us and them is life experience. So when we've built that, like this idea of, you know, they've got this utopian idea that everybody's going to fall in line to what they want. And this is where something like capitalism has to prevail, because it gives you that more sense of individuality. You know, and I've said, like, there should be more measures in place where the people that don't want to contribute to society, they should be made to feel like they've been ostracized and been left out. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. But to get to that point where, you know, you say, you can't force people to do a job. You know, you physically can't do it. You know, you have to make the incentives that good. And that's got to be the pull factor. And like I said to the gentleman that I was speaking to, I literally said, the difference between my view and your view, because I've been in your situation and I've had your view. I was very radical in that sense when I was a young person. I said, the difference between me and you is life experience. I've been around people more than you.
Yeah, that's true. I've been around too many people. I really have. No, but the police were okay up there, GST?
And I say again, I've said it time and time again when I've talked about it on the videos. I'm not turning around and saying there's no such thing as two-tier policing, there's no such thing as anything else. But again, that what we are seeing with Nottingham police, and I'll tell you what, it is mainly the commanders. The commanders are pushing the positiveness. It's that idea of people have to really mess up to get arrested. Maybe sometimes they're even being too relaxed. I know it sounds really silly to say it, but they're letting the left push. And I'll be honest with you, there were some of the YouTubers there. They can slate me if they're watching this. They can slate me all the one, and they can threaten me all the one. I don't care. You know, I've got broad shoulders. I can take it. You know, I'll stand there and take it from anybody. They were causing issues. They were getting a bit too wide, a bit too drunk because there was bars across the way, and they were causing issues to film it. And it was like, you shouldn't be doing that. And there was another guy that was getting tanked up that was just being a bit silly, and he was pushing and pushing and pushing. I could turn around and say there was probably about 3 or 4 people from our side. In any other day, in any other city, probably would have been arrested. But in Nottingham, absolutely. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're putting out there, but I'm sure you've seen the videos. Like you say, I've had no problems. I've absolutely had no problems whatsoever. You know, like it's sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, nobody likes to drink more than me. You know that. But if I'm going to a demonstration, especially if there's a chance it's going to become hostile, then the last thing I will touch is a drink. I want to be stone cold sober. Stone cold.
Yeah.
And also, there's the optics of it. We can't be seen. We really can't be seen to be thuggish, drunken thugs. No, we've had that in the past, and it doesn't work. There are people out there, okay, they might believe the same as us, the ones who have a drink, but at the end of the day, we need the normies, call them normies if you like, civilians. Yes, we need the civilians to vote for us, and they're not going to vote for a bunch of drunken thugs. They'll just see us as, well, the way they used to see football fans brawling on the streets. Often thought about, you know, football fans, GST. I talk to them, and they can tell you the history of their clubs and who scored what goals, what year, but they know nothing about the history of their country, and yet they know the entire history of dozens of football teams. And they get so passionate, willing to fight other teams, supporters, you know. And I thought, why can't you put that passion into your country? Some of them do, of course.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely, 100%. You know, like I say, like, talking about that, the whole world over, when the rest of the world thinks of the English football fans, it's always surrounding negativity. And let's say we were there from 7 o'clock in the morning and we left about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We could have spent that entire time being amazing like we did. And then somebody could just spend half an hour being an absolute dick. And if the wrong person is filming it, if the wrong person gets wind of it and takes photographs of it, our entire message, our entire kind of meaning to be there is just been flushed down the toilet. I agree with that completely. But yeah, it was another brilliant event. You know, like it was actually nice to have it in front of the castle. We didn't get too sucked up into I was going to say, sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. I do apologise, but yeah, no, it was. We sometimes I didn't get very good signal, which messed with the quality of the picture. But I said, it was nice. It was nice to have it underneath the castle. But not next week, but the week after, that's back to normal, and that's going on at the square again. So yeah, we should. Hopefully, we'll get a bit more public interaction, because the one thing I think that was not as good this time as last time, we had an agreement with the police on the first time to let people through. They let us funnel people in, and we had to talk with them at the table. But with the dynamics of everything, they wouldn't let people up to the table. There was a few people that managed to come up and speak, but that was as they were making their way to the other side. Did you see what I mean?
Understand.
So
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but again, there was not as much public interaction. But again, the public interaction that we had, everybody was just on side. Everybody was on side, and loads of people looking, taking pictures, taking videos as they were like sat outside the pub having the dinner. So the message should get out quite a bit.
Yeah, I saw you speaking to a few people. Did you meet anyone new, anyone interesting? Any individuals who need to stand out?
Yeah, like I said, there was one young lad. I gave him my email address. He said he's going to email me and we're going to have a chat. You know, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not in this to make money, but I said I don't mind giving him some money, paying him for his time, if he'll just sit and have a chat with me. To be honest with you, it was from the other side, and like I say, it's he's got interesting views, and he was very much on that mindset of I don't want to be associated with this Free Palestine stuff, and I don't want to be associated with this globalized intifada. But it's like, I can't start my movement up until I can push myself forward from what I'm doing. You know, and we had about an half an hour's conversation. He begged me not to put it on camera, which I said that's fine, you know, because I'm not about that. I'm not here to upset people. I'm genuinely here to get my country back. And I've always said of the mindset, like, you know, you've seen already, if there's a way that we can at least get the young people to step aside while we do what we have to do, then that's all we need to do, because these young people, they're our future. Whether we like it or not, they're our future. And yes, some of them are too far gone. Some of them are. But some of them probably are salvageable. And I just think with their mindsets and with their attitude, they can make respectable young men and women.
I should imagine there might be quite a few within their ranks. Quite a few within their ranks who have doubts about what they do and the protests that they read. But they go simply because the group that they are a member of are going, and they feel they would be ostracized were they not to go, not to show.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Quite possible.
My plan for the next one is I'm going to get there a lot earlier than everybody else again. And I'm going to try and get on some of these groups where they organize it and suggest to them that I'm going there early. So hopefully they'll all come early. And then maybe I could get to that point where it's a case of there's just me here on my own. You can direct your anger at me, or you can chill it down and let's all have a conversation together. I will talk to you and answer every one of you. I can talk on my megaphone. They can have their megaphone one at a time. That's up to them. But maybe if we can find some common ground, you know, maybe if we can get to that point where we say, right, tell people actually what you want. It's gonna either expose them, or it's gonna, make people understand that, yeah, there are some people out there that are quite intelligent. My mindset, and I'll go there, and one of the very first things I'll do is I'll apologise for throwing the insults this week. They threw insults at me, I threw insults back, but I think we've got to be the bigger people here. We've got to be the bigger people here. We've got to, I know people will be looking at this and probably thinking, "Oh, what are you talking about, you idiot? You can't talk with these people." At the end of the day, we've got to try. I will keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. That's the reality of it. We've got to. There's no other way about it.
You've got to excuse me smiling, GST.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Right, so loads of people in the comments like, what an idiot.
No. I'm just thinking you've been spending too much time with Great Western. You'll be saying next, if only we could sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya.
Oh no, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about that in that respect. But like I've always said, and I have been consistent, haven't I? You've got to give me this one. These young people, they are just lost young people. They are like us. They're like us, yes, in that sense of they're so disassociated, with society. But we've got experience. We've got life experience. We know what it's like to, struggle to pay the bills at the end of the month. Not know where the next meal's coming from. They're worrying about their future. They're worrying like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Everybody, because they haven't got a future for the most part. But the reality of it is, their mindset, which is something that, like I say, unless they can bury that hatchet of open borders, then it's a case of at least we tried, because that's a non-negotiable thing, as you know. It's a non-negotiable thing. They cannot. And my argument to that would be, you cannot turn around and say about jobs when you've got such a saturated market that you've got too many people for the jobs that are available. It's just as simple as that. You can't just invent jobs for the sake of it, for people to actually, work in. That's the reality of it.
So, before I forget, we've got an organizer from Restore Britain coming to the room this evening at 8:30. I'll tell you the branch later on. And he emailed me and asked if he could come on and talk about what his branch is doing in his part of the world. And so that'll be on at 8:30 this evening. I don't know if you're going to be around. Perhaps you could come over.
I mean, I'll try and get on. To be honest with you, I've got to be up early, but I'll try and be around. I'll try and listen to it because, like I say, it's there's certain things in the back of my mind, like there always will be, like I'm sure there is with you as well, where it's a case of I'm praying that this is the answer. I'm praying that something, it is going to come about, that this is the answer. But we've started to see a couple of things now of like posts online, like yourself, you've shared it, where it's a case of, with that sinking feeling where it's just like, is it going to all fall apart? Is it all going to fall apart? Like, I mean, I feel a lot more positive about Restore than I did Advance. Like I say, I joined Advance, solely similar to reasons where you are, where it's a case of like, we're desperate, we need a way out. But I don't think Advance is the way, because, like I say, it was literally like a case of, I'm going to set up this party, but I don't want to be a leader of it. It's like, come on, mate, put yourself out there. Do it with some vigor. He's getting on stage at Unite the Kingdom, basically trying to advertise, trying to set up a job position for wanted leader for a political party, and it's just embarrassing for the guy.
Well, he lost my confidence and he lost my track. I mean, I literally am pinning all my hope on Rupert Lowe. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if he turned out to be something else. I really don't. But I think he's genuine. We've got to believe he's genuine. And
absolutely. I think. Sorry.
We've got to believe he's genuine until he does something to prove that he's not. And I don't think we'll ever see that. I believe that he's fighting for his grandchildren in as much as the same way I'm fighting for my great-grandchildren. I'm sorry, I've got to take this phone call. My brother is ill. Excuse me.
Yeah, okay, no worries. No.
Hello? Yeah, how are you, Beth? Go on, I'm on the live feed at the moment, brother. Just tell me the news. All right, okay. Okay. I'll call you right back. Sorry, GST, I got to cut the stream short. I'll talk to you later. Bye, brothers.
No
with
worries.
a bit of luck.
Have a good day. Yeah, I hope everything else will go right. I think everything's okay.
Okay, brother. With a bit of luck,
No.
we'll be on at 8 p.m. Maybe not.
Yeah.